WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Nearly last. That's where many eastern Kentucky counties sit in the 2019 Healthiest Counties list. Perry and Owsley come in at 119 and 120. WYMT's Will Puckett has more on why that is and how things could change.
Some may see it as just another ranking Eastern Kentucky comes last in.
Yeah, the number's not surprising. This has been pretty much the status quo probably for the last decade.
For John Jones, while it is not shocking, he tends to know why.
We have multiple factors that play into our low health ranking.
Our economy, no jobs leads to little money, forcing people to not eat as healthy.
One is being able to make healthy choices. Healthy foods, it's more money. It's money that they don't have.
Transportation being another. And while there is work being done, there is a never-ending cycle that is crippling health outcomes.
In some areas we improve, but it seems like in other areas we fall backwards.
Health organizations and local government are doing what they can to help, but still things are not improving.
It's pretty much 50-50. We seem to keep breaking even here. When we get expanded access to health care, we've had more health issues come up, again, like hepatitis C outbreak.
But there is hope and a way to change the tide.
Our biggest obstacle is education. We have a cultural issue here. We come from a culture where we eat because it tastes good, not because, it's good for you.
Hope in the fact that an education on what is good and what is not can lead Eastern Kentucky out of the back of the pack. In Perry County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
To read the full report, you can go to our website, WYMT.com. We now know the funeral arrangements for a former Perry County sheriff. The visitation for Pearl Couch is tomorrow from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. at Kerr Brothers Funeral Home in Lexington. The funeral is at 11 a.m. Friday, also at the funeral home. He'll be buried at Camp Nelson National Cemetery. Couch served as Perry County Sheriff from 1982 until 1994. He was a Vietnam veteran and served in the Air Force for 20 years. Couch died on Monday. He was 85. A beloved former Perry County teacher has died. Wilma Jean Moore died at the Hazard ARH. Moore was a retired teacher for the Perry County school system, a substitute teacher for many years, and was active until the end of her life. In fact, this picture was taken just last week at the 4th of July fish fry in Hazard. The visitation will be tomorrow night from 6 until 9 at First Baptist Church in Hazard. The funeral will be Friday at noon, also at the church. Mrs. Moore was less than 1 week away from her 90th birthday. Well, I hope your AC is working because it's one of the hottest days of the year. But WYMT's Katie Cook spoke with folks who are not letting today's heat stop them from having a little fun in the sun.
With temperatures that feel like they're in the upper 90s.
Extremely hot.
Very hot. Members of the community still went on with their Wednesday plans.
We're making do.
And on a day like today, plenty of water is a must.
We've got a bunch of jugs of water over there. We're gonna have to take some shade breaks so often just so we don't get dehydrated.
And finding that shade when possible is important too.
It's really, really hot, and that's why we need to use like umbrellas and stuff.
So whether hard at work,
it's a little steamy out here,
or enjoying a day at the pool,
we usually just go swim in here.
It's important to stay safe in this extreme heat.
Sports drinks, plenty of water, and trying to find some shade.
And don't forget your sunscreen.
Definitely sunscreen.
Summer temperatures are in full swing.
I ain't even got a shirt on, it's so hot.
But that doesn't mean you have to stay inside.
Just go swimming and drink water and have a good time.
Making sure you're taking the steps to beat the heat. In Perry County, Katie Cook, WYMT Mountain News.
The pool sure does look nice, but I understand some relief may be on the way from this heat. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Paige Noel for the latest. Paige?
Yeah, Steve, it's definitely been a very hot, very humid day. Good news is relief is on the way, and we are on track to be hopefully the hottest day of the year. And we've already seen those temperatures right at 88, 89 degrees. You can go ahead and see that in Jackson. The hottest we've been at Jackson so far has been 89. We did forecast a high of about 90 today. We'll see if we get there, but feeling like 94. So I'm sure it's feeling like the hottest day of the year out there with those dew points in the lower 70s. We're still into about those mid to upper 80s, lower 90s. You're looking out into parts of Moorhead, Richmond, London as well. Some relief down for our friends into Harlan, Middlesboro, Jonesville, where they've seen a little bit of those pop-up showers and storms. But you're feeling like those mid to upper 90s, feeling like 99 looking over into Richmond, 98 up in Ashland, feeling like 96 in London, 94 in Hazard and in Jackson. So we do still have that heat advisory for Lawrence County, Kentucky and Wayne County, West Virginia. Remember, that goes until about 7 o'clock, so that is still in effect for a few hours. But really, all of us need to remember those heat precautions Katie reminded us of. Now, satellite radar shows those few pop-up showers and storms we've seen throughout the day, so those have hopefully cooled some of us off just a little bit. But we're seeing that rain chances increasing as we head into tomorrow due to a cold front moving into the mountains, so that rain bringing a little bit of a cool down as we head into your Thursday and Friday. Have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve.
All right, Paige, thank you. A man is dead after an officer-involved shooting in Powell County. Police officers were looking for a blue pickup truck after a nearby business owner reported it stolen. It was involved with a chase with police, and police say an off-duty deputy with the Powell County Sheriff's Office saw the truck on Ashley Hollow Road and approached the man. Kentucky State Police say the man tried to disarm the deputy, and that's when the deputy shot and killed the suspect. Ken Howard lives nearby.
He may have been just trying to run and ran into a dead-end situation. It's not really posted down here that this is a dead end. But it's hard telling what he would have done if that officer hadn't picked up that was the car they were looking for.
The name of the victim has not been released. KSP say they expect more information to be released in the next couple of days. The deputy was not hurt. We are learning more about a deadly plane crash back in 2017 that killed prominent members of a southern Kentucky community. The crash happened in Barron County. Federal investigators say the pilot, Scott Foster, likely became disoriented in bad weather before the plane went down. The National Transportation Safety Board says Foster was not rated to fly by instruments alone in an area where the weather conditions would require it. The Herald Leader reports attorneys for Foster's widow raised the potential that icing on the wings of the plane was a factor in the crash, though the NTSB did not cite that as a factor. Foster, along with his 15-year-old son Noah, dentist Kyle Stewart, and Somerset Police chaplain Doug Whitaker, all died in that crash. Now to a strange story out of Illinois. A mom is in custody after police say she had her 2 children ride on the top of her car to hold down an inflatable swimming pool. It happened in the city of Dixon around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Police say they pulled over the car that 49-year-old Jennifer Yeager was driving. They say Yeager drove into the town to inflate the pool at a friend's house, then had her 2 daughters ride inside the empty pool to hold it down on their drive home. Yeager was charged with 2 counts of endangering the health or life of a child, among other charges. President Trump says Alex Acosta has been an excellent labor secretary, but Acosta is facing more calls for his resignation because of a 2008 plea deal with billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein. The labor secretary says he agreed to the 2008 plea deal with Jeffrey Epstein because he wanted to ensure the billionaire did not walk. He was accused of sexually abusing dozens of underage girls. An investigator on the case called the evidence supporting the girls' stories overwhelming.
There is a big gulf between sufficient evidence to go to trial and sufficient evidence to be confident in the outcome of that trial.
Democrats say Acosta should resign. Lawmakers also want a Justice Department probe launched earlier this year examining the Epstein plea deal to be made public. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, will there be a special session anytime soon? We'll have the latest from Frankfort.
And a cold front moves in tomorrow, bringing some more showers and storms into the mountains. But good news is sunshine returns quickly and the heat and humidity return for the weekend as well. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.